lovers, that's 20 goons. And ice cream whip, triple scoop. I got 3 strikes, ain't got to lose. When it's all on the line, what you gonna do? Come on, I'm highly favored. Don't wanna play me, no conversation. Ain't got time for no debating. It's for the taking. No.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be a great matchup between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. With that, let's get up to Seattle. Standing by at CenturyLink Field, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the New England Patriots and the Seattle Seahawks. Charles Davis alongside me, and I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, folks, the wait is over. Yes, it's just the preseason, but football is back in your living room.
And I'm excited. I know you are as well. The summer heat feels good on these old bones, especially because we're not putting on pads. We don't have to be out there in that heat running into other people. But I'm glad these guys are. Football is back.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They will be led out by a second-round pick in 2019. Out of Missouri, it's Drew Lock.
Set, ready? 15 line. 15 line. There's a part of that. Recon, 132 front now.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Starting lineup time for the offense. What about Dwayne Brown, my friend?
Remember when we were kids and you wanted to make sure you had the big guy next to you all the time because you needed a bodyguard? That's Dwayne Brown at left tackle. He protects his quarterback so well as provides great access in the running game.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Clock now to throw. It's Williams on the catch. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. So into Pat's territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Here's Carson. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34. And quickly, let's check out the New England defense.
Devin McCourty is one half of twins that can cover just about anyone in the league. A top-notch player who can play corner or safety.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, here's Locke. He's got his big tight end, Fant. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Nice methodical opening drive here. They're already in the field goal range. They're in a good spot. You know that people just like to take a shot in this part of the field. But at the same time, as methodical as they've been, they might want to run the ball a little bit here, too.
And just on the outskirts of the red zone, they have options now. Either way, though, they've come out with a purpose. On first down, Locke. This is caught. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. And a nice gain of 21 yards. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. Now a toss play. It's Carson. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So it'll remain to be seen how many drives this unit gets in, this being the preseason, but here they start with 3 points.
Yeah, I don't know that we'll actually see them anymore. They got 3 points on the board, 1 drive here in preseason. In this game, baseball caps, NFL approved, of course, for everyone.
So now the Patriots getting set to take over on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team that wins.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. Time to feature the offensive starters and our first chance to get a look at Parker.
Devontae Parker came out of Louisville with a guy who was known as a mature receiver. Runs routes really well, but the best part of his game, he'll jump over you at the end of a route and go get the football.
First carry for Damian Harris, the Alabama man. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there. The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
And Ndamukong Suh provokes a whole lot of conversation. But at the end, everyone agrees, one of the best defensive tackles in the NFL.
On the ready.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Jones. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. This is taken around the 12. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8. There to stop him, Juwan Bentley.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
11 yards there and a first down for Seattle.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll run on first down. It's Carson. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Draw play. This is Carson. 2 yards on the first down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the second down carry.
Well, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on third down to keep the drive going. 20. He's got Lockett. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 46 yards. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead grows to 10-0. 5 plays there on that drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. On third down, Stevenson. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Jones, operating from the gun. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker, complete. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down. On first down, it's Stevenson. Now he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. On second down, it's Stevenson. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now Jones. He's going to let one go deep for Parker. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL. NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now Rashad Penny. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off play action. Jones. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 6, and that'll bring up 2nd down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Throwing, Jones. Open man is Kendrick Bourne. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Give him 15 yards on that one, and New England has a 1st down. Jones throwing on 1st down. And this is Parker, complete. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot 1st down.
Set, ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. New England on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Stidham. Open man completes it to Butler. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That goes in the category of a play that the defense is going to cherish and excites them. A completion, yes, you give up the pass, but no gain. I mean, that's exactly what you want on defense.
It sets up the 4th down. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Then he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown.
Now, that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
Oh, you mean with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And we are even at 10 apiece. This will be fielded at the 8. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They'll run it now out of the gun. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 36, Smith. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Penny, a 1st down carry. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Penny. And he will have the 1st down as he gets this to the 47. Got what he needed for the 1st down with a gain of 2.
3rd and 2, right? So this is a situation where low man has got to win at the line of scrimmage, but it's not just the low man winning. It's the low man who's winning with some force, and they had that to pick up the 1st down.
Barely picking it up, but they did. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They'll run with Penny. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Now Gino on 1st down. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Smith. That's going to be caught. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. In for the score. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
When we drop defenses on the board, we do account for every receiver. But on that particular play, somehow he was wide open, became an easy touchdown pass.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that makes it a 17-10 score. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And the Seahawks capping it off with a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10. To throw is Stidham. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. N'Keal Harry was the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. After the interception, here's Smith. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dietrich Wise Jr. just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a haul of...
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
Sack, baby! Sack!
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Now a tough spot for Geno Smith and company after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Here's Smith. That's complete to John Ross. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker.
They didn't get the 1st down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
They have a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the 1st. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's Hill, complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it a 2nd down. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now flags come in. Looked like one of the Patriots might have moved. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
The false start hurts them there a bit. Backs them up to 2nd and 9. Stidham. And that's incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
Taken in at the 22. Well, nice job on the return there. 16 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled. And
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
On second down now. It's Stevenson. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a third down. On third down, Stidham. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no. Flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Well, let's gaze our attention as the offense takes the field on Rashad Penny. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. Off the play fake. Purdy. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. The Seahawks on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
A gain of 3, second down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12. On first down, Stidham. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets his football out shy of the 30 to the 29.
Now that was pretty.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Set, ready? 18 Gator. I'm coming, baby. I'm coming, baby. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. From the gun, Purdy to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
Incomplete in the end zone. It's now 2nd and goal. Come on, set. 30 base.
So they went to the booth to see if that was a touchdown, and they have decided it will not be a touchdown. 6 points off the... And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan.
Hey, let's go. Interception all day, baby. Let's get this.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
They run with Hill, and defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in just a minute as we've started the countdown to opening night. 3 more weeks of preseason action follow this, and then we get it all started less than 1 month from tonight. In our game, most of the starters have made their cameo and departed, but plenty of youngsters out there with a lot to get. Or lose as we get you right back out to Brandon Gaudin.
Probably not likely to see many starters in the second half as we get back at it underway in this preseason opener. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is. Right at
rush coming, and he's taken down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football, but you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away, and it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. On 1st and 10, Purdy. And his throw is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time he fell incomplete. They'll run it here. This is Deontay Foreman, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
That was good, tough running right up the middle. And if the defense can't penetrate and make him slow his pace or change direction, that's often the end result.
Throwing on first down. Purdy. That's complete. It's Bell. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On 2nd down, it's Hill. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. And that was a really nice run there to bring up 3rd and short. After the incompletion on 1st down, it's awfully nice to have a running back that you can hand it to and put you back in a good situation. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive. Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Ross on the return. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive. And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing, because to be ahead of the defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you. Makes you look like a genius. It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting. On 2nd down, Foreman pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball. And force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going into the quarterback in the expected passing situation. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here. That looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open. And this play just didn't look right from the beginning. It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And they'll get him down up past the 15. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12. So that last play gives them a little more space now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. On the jet sweep, here's Harry. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
56, the mark, 56, check.
On 2nd down, here's Stidham. And this one complete to Smith.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Stidham sets to throw on first. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a New England first down. They'll run on first down. Stevenson, and he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Stevenson. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation. This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on 3rd downs, and it's costing him.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
Ready? And over.
Strip that ball.
Get it.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Purdy. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Back to throw. Purdy. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Patriots. Take over. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Here's Stidham. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. The Patriots send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Now here's Ross. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2nd and 9 now. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Looking to throw. Eason. And that will be incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Here's Stidham to throw. And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. 23 yards the pickup there.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's Patriot football, but they trail here as we begin the 4th quarter. On 1st and 10, it's Stidham. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down. Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now, Stidham. He's got Smith here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
New England on third down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 4. This is Hill on the draw play. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
Switch it up.
They'll throw on 1st down with Stidham. It's caught. Smith. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Stidham. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now Stidham over the middle to Smith. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. They'll try the left side. Stevenson. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. Stidham, 3rd down from the gun. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And Bullock will put this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still got to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On 2nd down, Love. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. The 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. A big play there. 72 yards. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Reed. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Now Myers for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it's a second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Off the draw, here's Hill. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Stidham now to throw on 3rd down. And he finds his man. That's Butler. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another first down.
Ready. 60 outlaw.
Mike's 56. Mike's 56.
Now Stidham on 1st down. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll make it a 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. To throw is Stidham. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now it's Stidham. And he comes back with one complete.
We got this.
That's a pretty good throw on the curl route there. 3rd down, and they pick up a first.
Defense should be aware for that, right?
They should be aware, but it's so hard sometimes.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Because when they sell that route really well, you think they're going upfield, then they curl back, show their numbers to the quarterback, and complete the play.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Stidham again here on 2nd and 10. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Jamal Adams. He's got daylight past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick six makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Myers connects on the PAT, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he'd taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously cost them.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Now it's Stidham. And he will find the open man as Jamon Moore. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a New England first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Stidham. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. From the gun, a run for Hill.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Got his man. That's Harry.
Offside, defense.
So offside's the call, and they understandably decline it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Stidham. Gets this one to Hill. And he is out of bounds inside the 30.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you run every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those moments.
And he does take it in for the touchdown, but a flag on the field, and I don't think this is going to stand.
Yeah, don't put the points on the board just yet.
Brutal, so take away the long touchdown.
It's a cruel game sometimes, partner.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. So they went a little cautious there on 3rd and long.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. Remember, they're playing with a lead right now. So getting a first down, yes, that would be great. But even more importantly, take care of the football. No turnovers, no big plays for the other team, and keep the clock moving.
So the Patriots coming out now. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today.
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
And they just ran the fly route there, didn't they?
You broke it down perfectly. He ends up catching that one and taking it all the way into the end zone.
Well, thanks. It was pretty simple to break down, though. I mean, that's just a guy going, running on the go route, making a play.
Speed,
kills.
Speed, speed. And what does it do?
It kills.
There you go.
Pull it good on the extra point, and that will get him one closer. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And out now come the Seahawks. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
This is Love. Jalen Mills in on the stop.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive game. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here's Love again. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Seahawks here as we say so long from Seattle.